Dustin May, the Beast, as he's been known on the internet. 1-0, could be 2-0 if it wasn't for that bullpen. Looking really, really good out there. He's not pitching for the strikeouts. He's pitching for contact. He's pitching for length in the game. He could have pitched into the 7th inning last night if he really wanted to. One of the things he talked about after the game, because he came out after that lengthy Dodger offensive, inning, what was it, in the 5th inning or whatever it was. He said one of the things he learned was that he needs to stay more ready. He pulled kind of a rookie mistake, and he didn't stay ready on the bench in between innings, and then he didn't feel as froggy, as crisp coming out of or coming back onto the mound. So that probably put him back a little bit. But this is where it's another one very early. But do we recalibrate, as you said, recalibrate the expectations of? Is this, was this just going to be like a guy going to be kind of like maybe the 4 or 5 guy to, is this a legitimate potential ace by the time we're looking at October?
I think it's absolutely fair to recalibrate those expectations. I think he's Dustin May. I think what you saw last night, he continues to evolve, going from a thrower to a pitcher. And you mentioned pitching to contact, him trusting his stuff in the zone, and that really has been the difference. I mean, if you look at that strikeout rate, 19% strikeout rate. I mean, we saw him throw over 37% strikeout rate before he was injured back in 2021. But the difference is, and we talked about this back when we were breaking down the season, is the key for Dustin May is working both sides of the plate and changing the eye levels with that 4-seam fastball. And you're seeing him throw more 4-seam than 2-seam. And what that's allowing him to do, it's allowing him to miss bats. And it's not just that it's fast, it has spin and it has location. I mean, some of those pitches last night were just absolutely disgusting. I mean, just dotting 99-mile-per-hour fastballs on the corner. That cutter that he threw to Marte, I had to take a shower after. It made me feel so dirty. I mean, he was just so outstanding out there. And I definitely think when you look at his stuff, pure raw stuff, he takes a backseat to no one in this league. So to me, when you have elite stuff, there's no reason why you can't be an elite ace level pitcher. And I think he's a guy that you could see get Cy Young votes this season. I mean, we said back in November he was going to make the All-Star team. Now I regret saying, hey, he should have made the Cy Young Award. So yeah, I think the big key for him is learning from each and every start. If you look at the repeatability of his delivery, I was looking at some of the highlights from last year. It was a little wonky in between pitches. Now his motion, his delivery, he's really smoothed out so many things where you're looking at just the 4-seam fastball, the 2-seam fastball, and they're coming out from different angles, but you're still seeing a similar delivery. So as Vin would say back in the day, it's all elbows and kneecaps from somebody like Dustin May, but the elbows and kneecaps are very repeatable right now. 2 starts. But he looks like he's feeling really good after a healthy offseason and looking better than the guy we saw when he was dominating the Open 2021. He had whatever, the 5 good starts, really 4 good starts, and then elbow gave. This is a dude who really can make an extreme. I mean, he's really had, his name is out there. He came up with a lot of hype. We had the ginger guard back in the day. He was going to be the guy, the next big guy coming out of the Dodgers farm system, could rival Walker Buehler. It says his injury happened at a different time. And of course, 60-game season kind of changed what that would have looked like for him. But I think this is the real deal. I think what we're seeing is the real deal. Is he going to put up a .69 ERA for the rest of the year? No. He's going to have some bad starts in there. But if he can just be quality, consistent. I mean, I think what Tony Gonsolin did last year is kind of very much within reach for D-May, if not a little bit better. Just getting more innings and staying healthy. That's going to be the big thing for him, staying healthy. It's a real deal, though. I like him. Yeah. He's a nice boy. No, he's great. I think he's a guy that I mean, I have 2 concerns with him. The only concerns I have are, one, the most innings he's ever pitched in a season for a regular season, 56 innings in 2020. And then we saw Tony Gonsolin, when he blew past his innings count last season, he ended up getting injured. But the difference with Dustin May, he has that 4-seam fastball. He's not relying on a split change or anything like that. So, yeah, I think what makes him so impressive is the efficiency. I mean, he's just so efficient. And also, too, like you mentioned earlier, is the ground ball outs. I mean, when he needs a ground ball out, he can get it early in counts, he can get it later in counts, and that allows him to go deeper into games. Before, he's gone 7 innings in his first start, 6 innings in his second start. Before that, he had gone 6 innings just 6 times in his career. So the length is so impressive, and I think Dustin Mania is here. Dustin Maniacs rise. This is finally, we're realizing that potential. And to me, I mean, come on, 96-mile-per-hour cutter. I mean, come on now.
And if he's able to land that more consistently, it was looking pretty solid. But he said it wasn't his best outing for sure. So if you're able to land that a bit more consistently, land the breaking a bit more consistently, or I should say locate the cutter more consistently and land the breaking more consistently, you're going to see somebody that is definitely getting his fair share of Cy Young love by the end of the season. Sonny, YouTube says, may pitch like DeGrom. Carnivorous Lunar Activities in the stream says, hello, Dodger Nation. I haven't looked at DeGrom's numbers. I think he's doing pretty
one
solid,
bad start and then one good start.
They pay him a lot, though. That seems like a bad idea.
I mean, when 185 and then you got the incentives. I think the thing about Dustin May, though, is the spin and the movement. And like I said, I mean, his stuff moves more than a U-Haul. So, I mean, no, just trying out new stuff.
You're upsetting. Stick to the company line.
Okay,
right?
I know I was playing. But, no, the thing about Dustin May, too, is one thing I want to point out is if you look at his release on the 2-seam versus the 4-seam, you do see a little bit of a difference with a 3/4 arm release and this and that. So, I think, too, will hitters adjust to that? And will it how will he do after a bad start? I mean, how will he continue to adjust? Because we saw last year he came out of the gates very strong in that first start against the Marlins, and then he had his issues. He had that game where he gave the multiple home runs against the Padres. So, yeah, I think the most exciting thing for me with Dustin May is this guy, if he continues to mature, he continues to make incremental progress, he's the guy you could see carry a team in the postseason. That is how good his stuff gets. Get used to seeing Dustin May on Pitching Ninja all season long. This guy's stuff goes viral, and I think he has one of those special gifts. I mean, the way he grips it and rips it, he can do things with the pill that you just can't teach, and that's how you know a guy is special. So, yeah, it's great to see, especially coming off that Tommy John surgery, such a young, emerging player back in 2021, to sit that out, and then he comes back, and then he deals with a back injury, and didn't even see him in the NLDS. So I'm very excited for Dustin May and his potential. And look, the reality is, too, this rotation, they needed someone to emerge. They needed someone to take the leap, and it looks like so far he's that guy.
I'll throw in a pointless hot take. I say All-Star is the floor for D-May at this point. I don't know if that's a hot take. It's more of a statement, but All-Star is the floor for D-May. Anyways, that's the topics of sports things that we wanted to talk about there. We wanted to add